Catherine.
Hey guys, welcome back to Running with Mike G. Today's video is about running shoes. We're going to be talking about running shoe wear, the wear on the shoe. Before we do that, please don't forget to subscribe to Running with Mike G by clicking on the subscribe button below the video. So going back to running shoes, as runners, we're blessed with probably the least expensive sport to participate in, and the major expense that we have are the running shoes. And I love running shoes, and so much so that I tend to hang on to them longer than I should. As you know, well, I train pretty much every day. It's rare that I miss a day, and my training varies. I have easy days, speed days, and tempo days, and then long runs. So it's also rare that I use the same shoe 2 days in a row. I change it up. I just got into that habit a while back. It just feels better for me. And so I have, quite a number of shoes in the rotation, and I've put up 4 here just to show the differences in the running shoe wear. So most of the wear that I would have on some shoes would be the ones that I use for recovery days, because there are more recovery days than the hard days. So I tend to, and the pace is slower, so I tend to hang on to those pairs longer than racing flats or up-tempo shoes. So just as an example, so let's start with racing flats. Now, I don't race every week, nor do I race every 2 weeks. It could be every 3 or even once a month. But now with COVID, unfortunately, I haven't raced since February. But racing shoes, this is an example of a racing shoe. And as you can tell, even though it's dirty, but the shoe wear, as you can see, is fairly unnoticeable. So you only race in the shoes, you don't train in them that much, so they last longer. And price-wise, though, they're probably a bit more expensive than training shoes. And then I have this pair, which I use for long runs and sometimes up-tempo runs, because it's a neutral shoe. I've had it for a while, and you can tell, especially this portion here, there's a wear spot. It's a fairly even wear, but it's starting to go. Although, knowing myself, I'll probably hang on to this a bit longer. Okay, I like the shoe. That's the problem with me. I tend to be slave to routine, kind of. I tend to favor kind of sentimental, and I don't want to lose the feeling that I've already established with a certain pair. So I tend to hang on to them to a fault. Okay, so next pair. This is sometimes for long runs, and you can see the obvious uneven wear here and here. The heel to midfoot is still good, but the forefoot is starting to go. If anything, this should go before the previous one, the A6. But like I said, it'll be a while until I really wear this out before I retire this pair. So, okay, and moving on to the worst one. This is my kind of recovery day shoe, and this isn't what people should do with their shoes. So that's the worst one. Okay, And I primarily made this video to kind of warn people not to get into the same habit that I've been doing since my younger days. I've been hanging on to shoes longer than I should have. I've had shoes worse than this, and I've worn through I'm onto the midsole, I'm pretty sure. Now, there will be days when you won't even feel that the shoe is this worn out until you step on a pebble. That's the first clue that you should take heed and look at the pair and assess it properly. The problem with my method is if the shoe feels good, I keep using it. And so I don't really make an objective decision on it until it's almost too late. So the problem with that, you tend to develop bad habits with worn out shoes. Your stride minutely changes, and you fall into this bad habit, and pretty soon it becomes a niggle, a twinge or an injury, a very small injury, and then it could develop into something bigger. Hopefully not, but because I've been riddled with injuries the last few years, I've tended to listen to to my legs as to how it's responding to certain pairs. The reason I'm telling you all this is because this pair made it back into the rotation somehow because I was stupid. And then a couple of months later, I started to feel, this little niggles after, during the week. And again, I thought it was just because I wasn't stretching enough or I was working out too hard. But little did I know that all I had to do was switch up the shoes and not use this, just basically set it aside and started to use the other pairs. I've got some other pairs downstairs, but started to use the other pairs of shoes, and then my injuries, my niggles started to go away, and then I just set it aside, never used it again, and then ever since it has improved. So yeah, that's my advice. Running shoes are not cheap, but then again, it's crucial that they are kept in good condition, in proper form for you to run properly. So that's my advice, and that's the reason for this video. So don't forget to subscribe. I'll be making more videos. I'll be doing more run videos fairly soon. So just be patient. Let's all be patient with COVID, and I hope to see you all at the races. So until the next video, guys, this is Running with Mike G. Take care and keep running.